Greetings, YouTube. Hi there, everybody. How y'all doing? Mm, You think that I would being a little more organized, especially since I'm a sign of organization, but it doesn't always work out that way. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? Okay, so today is Venus Day, and I'm actually really excited. This Venus energy is very intense, and a lot of us are moving through some really heavy, intense energies because of Venus. And so, before I talk about the astrology, Venus Day is the day of reciprocity, cause and effect, literally how we restore ourselves. So, it's the day that I ask for reciprocity. So, you can do that if you, like a few weeks ago, I got some great music lists, some great music song lists. Like a thank you for those. So you can, just it really is about keeping the energy moving, it being in the flow, right? And we give to the places where we receive from in order to keep the energy going, to sustain, to keep the rhythm. And if we don't, then that energetic will dry up. Where you put your attention, where you put your focus, where you put your energy is what you get back. So if you gain anything here, the intention is to give to keep the rhythm going, right? Um, and it's such an interesting thing having this conversation because sometimes it reminds me of when I was in church and the pastor used to pass the bucket and everybody was like, Lord have mercy. And it always occurred to me, or it did when I became an adult, and it occurred to me as abusive because I would watch the pastors have like so much stuff. Like they literally had cars and houses and all sorts of stuff. And I lived in the community and the people were really struggling. And I was like, how this motherfucker gonna drive all this shit and have all this shit and people are struggling to and so it's very important that we be mindful of for me, let me speak for myself. It is important for me to be mindful of the laws of nature and the laws of cause and effect so that I am always being of service and that I am not serving my ego and serving an idea or a way of being that is out of step with love and health and healing and well-being. And so this is the act of reciprocity. This is it. It's not about material gain. It's not about um, subjecting people to circumstances and situations that really don't um, support their lives being better. I am always, you guys have heard me struggle with my Christian upbringing, but there was that story that Jesus told of the woman who came and bought like a penny, right? And he said her penny is worth more than the man who bought a million because her penny came from her heart, came from her purity, came from her absolute love and commitment to her own development and the well-being, right? And so that's what it's about. Like it's about if it feels right. If it feels right, then be in the reciprocity. However you want to do that. You can donate at my Cash App, which is $Monique Ruffin, at my Venmo, which is @Monique Ruffin, at my PayPal, Monique C, as in cat. My middle name is Cassandra. Monique C Ruffin at gmail.com at PayPal. Or you can just share how the work impacts you because it's really just about an energetic connection. It's literally when you say, oh, you said this and it helped me do this, you're telling the universe, like, oh, this is a connection for me. You're letting the universe know. So it's really about an opportunity to really make the energetic connections in your own psyche, in the universe, so that you come more and more alignment with things that really fortify you. And so you have to take the action for that. You have to ask, you have to make the call, you have to do something. All right, y'all. So thank you in advance. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everything. I really do. You know, like someone sent me an incredible, I'm not going to name her, but she sent me this beautiful book of tarot cards that are just exquisite, called For Modern Ancient Folks. Oh, it's so amazing. For Modern Ancient Folks, Lotus. And, so people do send me things and I appreciate it. Like I really do. Um, and these cards are gorgeous. Look at these cards. They're so pretty. So, I don't really want to collect a lot of things because I'm in the process of clearing out and moving. And I spent yesterday throwing away so much stuff. Like literally, I went through my closet, my books. I literally got rid of books, not the books of astrology and the things that I do now, but my old books. I have books from when I was in my 20s because I've been doing this work a long time. So I have, like conversations with God with Neil deGrasse. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's somebody else. Neil, somebody else wrote Conversations with God. And like, I don't need that book no more. I'm tired of listening to white men talk about their relationships with God. I'm gonna have my own conversation with God. I'm done with that. So I've been really cleaning out my house, and so I want to just say that though I love thoughtful gifts, I do love thoughtful gifts. Like someone sent me flower essence, like things I can really use. I really do appreciate, but other stuff, it's like your just your heart opening up to me and you saying your gratitude is enough. Unless it's something that I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I love this, like this modern for modern ancient folks. Okay. The next thing I want to say, Mercury retrograde. You can register for that class here in this link. In my link tree, Mercury retrograde, God's mind in you. This is going to be a game changer. The moon is going to go into Aries today, and the energy is really starting to pick up. Every month, the energy is going to get faster and faster and faster. And so, with this Mercury retrograde, it is an opportunity. If you've not crossed your T's and dotted your I's, if there's stuff that you're holding on to that you haven't worked out yet, join this Mercury retrograde class. I have a couple of programs. I have a program for people who want to just be in all of my retrograde, because I do retrograde classes for everything, right? For all the retrogrades, the rituals and things of Pluto, Neptune, all of those. So you can just join that, and that's $111 a month, and you'll get all of the retrograde work. Or it starts on the 14th. It starts on January 14th. The link is here in my link tree. Or you can just sign up for the one that feels right for you, right? So right now I'm running a Venus retrograde class, and and um, and so there are people who are in that class, but then they will also be in the Mercury retrograde class as well. And so you can sign up for the Mercury retrograde class just by itself. You don't have to sign up for all of them. Um, and this Mercury retrograde in Aquarius is going to be an incredible opportunity to really kind of catch up with yourself, right? Like many of us, because Venus went into retrograde and it's really showing us where we have been externalizing our power, and externalizing our power and giving ourselves over to authority that isn't really aligned with us. And you guys have heard me talk about it. We do it all the time. We do it in religion and organized religion. We believe in a God that has power over us. We do it with our elected officials. We do it. Our country is set up kind of in a pyramid where we have to pay the piper. Like it's, this somebody is always one of the things I realized when I was in Egypt. There was always somebody you had to pay to get into the thing, right? Beyond the ticket. Like you bought the ticket, but then you had to pay somebody else. It's like, sort of somebody else, there's always the shakedown, right? And so Venus is forcing us to look at where we are still in that external power. And Venus today is in an inconjunct with Lilith. This Venus in an inconjunct with Lilith is totally saying, give up your fucking dependence on external opinions, authority, ideas. Literally, Venus with an inconjunct to Lilith says you have to give up the old way of thinking, because Lilith is in Gemini. Your old perception that would have you looking to others, that would have you thinking that somebody knows better than you, or that somebody can access something that you can't. Lilith in Gemini is saying, fuck all of that. And it's at the 19th degree of, and the 19th degree is the degree of service, right? And so it's like, where are you putting your energy? Where are you serving? Where are you giving your service to? Through your thoughts, through your mind, right? Where are you giving your power away to? Are you pissed off, worried, confused, scared, worried about? Where are you giving your power away to? That Lilith in Gemini is saying that whatever you think, it is, Lilith is the primordial force, the feminine. She is independent. She does not need permission. So whatever you think comes into creation because of this Lilith there. So right now, Lilith has been, it's at the 19th degree, and it's been there probably, it's definitely been there several weeks. It could have been there a couple of months already, but Lilith is the creative power. It is it. So while Lilith is in Gemini, we want to be very mindful of creating a mind, a perception, a perceived reality that we desire. And if I understood it the way that I do, because I've been doing all the work that I'm doing, I don't need to do this. But, if you're somebody that hasn't been doing your work and you're catching up, the universe is filled with grace, okay? The universe is a benevolent place. It's not, the Western white European male mind would have us think that the universe is out to get us. And they have a very good reason for that, because their gene codes were created in a cold environment. So cold environments will have you scavenging for resources. So we are following the imprint and the minds of people who come from a part of the world where they have had limited resources. So when they come to something, their automatic thinking is, oh, I'll take this. I need this, because they don't have a lot of resources. And so we're all in that, but that's not the truth anymore. We are now very resourced. We have everything we need. We do, except that we don't believe that we do. So the work is being able to let go of the idea that something is being kept from you, and beginning to resource yourself and giving yourself a new understanding. Because like I said, the one that we've been conditioned in and indoctrinated in, if you listen to the commercials and TV, and if you're in the West, right? I don't know. I mean, in the United States, when I say the West, I'm not meaning Europe. But if you listen to our stuff, everything is, you don't have enough. Something is wrong. They're out to get you. How can you get all that? All of that. America is a big reality, is what it is. And it is a reality that is born out of a white man's mind. It is built on scarcity and competition and fear. And so the work is to reclaim yourself from that way of being and thinking, literally to purify your own frequency so that you can get clear about what your frequency is, because we've all been bought into this. It's not enough. Somebody's, there's a predator out there, call it COVID, call it whatever. Something is out to get you. But because you believe that it's out to get you, then it is out to get you. But if you didn't believe that it was out to get you, if you thought, oh, this is my friend, this is actually in service to me, then it will be in service to you. So Venus at the 19th degree is asking, where are you putting your energy, your feelings? Because Venus is your sensory body. How do you feel, right? And whatever you're feeling is what you're creating. They ain't fooling us. go to our community. They are not fooling us, right? And let me tell you, they are trying. They are trying. It is so hilarious to me. Like when all this stuff first started, I used to be like, I was like threatened. I used to feel I could send my energy out into the world and I would feel this big mountain and I would be like, Spirit, what are you doing? And it was COVID. And then it came and I was like, oh my God, it's COVID. And it came while Mercury was retrograde in Pisces. And so I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And now I just see that it's all like the way they're masterminding it is like something is out to get us. And so that we are not working with nature, right? In this experience, COVID truly, whether they masterminded it or created it or any of that kind of stuff, it does not matter. It does not matter because God is all that there is. But it is giving us an opportunity to really find our own truth and learn how to heal yourself because they're not offering, well, have you done your breathing exercises this morning? Have you taken your dark greens? Are you using your herbs? They're not offering any of that. They're only offering, here's what we need in order for you to make us richer, right? So we want to eliminate our dependence on the system that would have us be handicapped and imprisoned to ways of being that are out of alignment with our own system, with nature, with how we function as God beings, and actually become to rely upon natural, organic, and holistic ways of thinking and breathing that will lead to a more harmonious relationship to this 3D reality. Only offering fear tactics, absolutely. So the moon is in Pisces. So, like I said, this Venus. So the moon is in Pisces, and the moon is in Pisces, and Pisces is our empathy. It's our subconscious. It's the things that we all are in together. And so, literally, it's literally saying, how can you um, how can you access your own power through compassion, right? And so it's like I said, we're laughing at these children and the things that they're creating, right? We're laughing at it like, oh my God, you guys don't even like, this is ridiculous what you're doing, what you're thinking, like, really, like, so like that is an act of compassion. That isn't, with Lilith and Gemini is the trickster. It is the, it's like a wicked independence. It's like, fuck you, keep take that. It's like, selling swampland. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy your swampland. It's really understanding, but there's a funness in it. There's a wickedness in it. There's a cleverness in it, and all it's just asking is that you honor your own mind. And with Lilith and Gemini, you just have to be clear about what you feel because a lot of rage can come up, rage and anger. And like I was feeling this week very like I've been doing this practice of diving into my shadow because Pluto is a part of this conjunction with Venus. And I've been playing with what it feels like to be powerless. And it takes me really back into my cell structure and the memory of being a slave and not having autonomy or dominion over myself, where I wasn't in full responsibility for my own life. And I just feel it. I just go into my memory and breathe into it so that I can drain it of energy, so that I can laugh at it, so that I can remember, because as in these, we choose these soul experiences. Nothing is a mistake, not one thing. And who taught me that nothing is a mistake? I studied with Kenya Stevens and Carl Stevens at Progressive Love for many years. And Kenya really helped me get that there are no mistakes ever. So the things that we think are the worst things, they really are creations through our subconscious. And as Black people, we generate more power than most because we have melanin. We generate a higher frequency that has a greater potency, that is more creative. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to create what we desire. Because we are so plugged into the system and at odds with it, we generate more negativity. That's what's true. Because we are fighting against something, our resistance generates negativity for us and power for the system. Now, the work is in being able to wake up and catch yourself in the fucking act and stop believing that anybody has power over you. So I will go into the experience of really giving myself into it fully. I'm going to give myself into what is it to be a slave. I'm going to imagine myself on the plantation. I'm going to imagine, the master coming in to my room at night and having his way, so that I can realize that that's what my soul chose for some reason. What is the reason? And I will just meditate with it. I will just be with it until spirit delivers me to another understanding so that I can have the power that experience actually is offering. It is so significant for us to really retrieve ourselves through the experience of wholeness. And wholeness means mending the dualistic aspects within us. So if you have the experience of slave, you have to also have the other polarity, which is master. And so how do you work out those energies? If you have the experience of scarcity, you have to also have the other experience of richness. So how do you hold those polarities inside of you? And that is what the Mercury retrograde class and these retrograde classes help us do, because you need to do this in alignment with the energies that are going on in the system. So the Pisces energy is asking, the Pisces moon is just asking us to really understand the subconscious, our empathy, really being compassionate for yourself. It's like being compassionate for the part of yourself that's still generating a story that you might not want to be that you don't think is desirable. And in the compassion and feeling the tenderness of it, you will open up into another portal. All right, you all. Today is a Venus day. Feel, feel, feel. Venus is all about your feelings. Venus is all about, can you feel? Will you allow yourself to feel? And because it's retrograde in Capricorn, feeling a lot of hard things. Things that are dark, things that are shadow, things that are undesirable, and getting the power from them so that you can have authority in your own life. All right. I look forward to all of you registering for the Mercury retrograde class. This is going to be a fantastic class, and I am excited. We start on the 14th. What else? That's it. All right. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful day. I'm still offering new moon readings, full moon readings, natal chart readings. All of those sorts of things are available. Okay. Peace and blessings, everyone. Bye-bye. Let me see what you said.